Uh, Hi everyone. Have you all already heard of this particular incident where an OpenAI agent has basically attacked the Hugging Face environment to get the insights? So this is one of the first publicly described cases where an AI agent didn't just solve a task but actually behave like an attacker. The agent was being tested in a cybersecurity environment, basically of solving a challenge normally. It allegedly found ways to escape its testing environment, move through multiple systems, and eventually targeting Hugging Face infrastructure in an attempt to obtain the benchmark numbers. So this was one of the top attacks happened on the frontier side. Let's go through how that was possible and how that happened. So this was the blog that was posted by Hugging Face itself on how this particular incident happened, and this was their analysis. Let's go through that. So maybe to give a background why this happened. So OpenAI was basically has testing its own models security standards to make, so it basically goes through all the security violations, try to see if their system is capable of handling everything. So that was the kind of benchmark OpenAI was doing. So for that benchmark, the benchmark uh, benchmark was a standard benchmark which is in the Hugging Face. So Hugging Face is the kind of a owner for that particular benchmark, but that benchmark is ran across any frontier models. Basically, they use it to test their cybersecurity safer levels. So yeah, so that was kind of experiment that was going on in OpenAI side. So that's the environment where it was happening. So while OpenAI was testing one of its top LLM models, so what happened is, so in order to perform well in the benchmark numbers, the what agent did is, it went outside the OpenAI environment using a 0 day deployment window. So using that, it went out of the OpenAI side. So let me see. Yeah. So this was the diagram. Like this is how you can picture it. So basically, OpenAI was evaluating inside their environment, inside their sandbox. So they had the 0 day deployment window. So using that, the basically agent escaped, and then it basically it gained internet access, and then went into a uh, different open source providers environment, where they basically helps to generate sandboxes on inside their environment. So they basically went in the open source environment and get the admin credentials. So somehow it hacked the admin's rights, and then from their open source environment, right, the third party sandbox. So once it got the admin rights, it kind of created so many requests from that uh, third party sandbox into the Hugging Face. While doing it, what it tried to do actually is, it tried to basically provide different or bad configurations, not the data but the configurations that is passed along with the data. So those are something, it it basically generated it in a way that uh, that it so with that particular kind of configurations, right, the bad configurations. So it went to the Hugging Face. So with through the bad configurations, basically it was able to read the Hugging Face credentials, environment variables basically. So that's what it did. So basically it send the bad credentials data configurations through the HDF5 file read or Jinja templates. So with that, what it done is, it somehow got into the internal environment of Hugging Face and got its environment variables. So once it got the environment variables of Hugging Face and things, it was able to connect to their Kubernetes and basically it was able to get their source code as well. But agent was only concentrated on getting how to get high score in the benchmark number. So that was the objective, right? So instead of though it had the uh, eligibility to see the code entire code base, it's only motive was to basically get how to get a good score on benchmark. So basically it read through the source code of the benchmark and then it performed well basically inside the OpenAI model, OpenAI's evaluation sandbox environment. So that's a kind of a shortcut the agent took. Basically instead of actually performing well in a evaluation, it took shortcuts and hacks to get high scores instead of actually being it in a good shape. So that's what happened here. um, so yeah, maybe we'll walk you through like step by step. So I just give you the overview of what happened. Maybe we'll go step by step so things will be easy to understand. So what happened, as we said, right, from OpenAI sandbox to our it somehow escaped through the through their environment through the zero day exploit package, and then they basically went into the different open source sandbox providers website. So open source one was, so what happened was they went to that open source and then basically hacked their, so that it's just not one layer of hacking, it hacked through multiple layers. It hacked through open source OpenAI's environment, it hacked through that open source sandbox providers environment, and then it hacked into the Hugging Face. So it's just not one layer, it's just at multiple layers it figured out all the loopholes. It just didn't break the whole door, but it figured out the some of the small openings and then went through that. So how this is where it's saying how it penetrated to the Hugging Face infrastructure. So basically, at a high level, it uses HTF5 format and then Jinja. So basically, using that, it was able to set some bad configurations, and then using that bad configuration, it was able to read the environment variables on the Hugging Face side. So yeah, this is again setting the things right. So this is what happened here. So later they figured out like how many actions were uh, done across different types of uh, processes. So along with the time window. So this recon means they try to do a FS or log into the host, like such kind of things, and then they are trying to do some direct cell execution since they got the environment variables. So that happened between this particular time. So almost for 4 days this all happened. So basically if you see when it's trying to keep doing, it's not just one time call, it's like a very big loop. You just try doing different things and keep getting better and better. And then when it's like June 11, it was able to have service account access and log into K8s. Yeah, so that's how it went. It's not just a normal hack cyber attack. So we can see, right, it keeps evolved. So initially it was just external sandbox operations, and later it came into Hugging Face, tried to do K8s and all these things, and then tried to join the internal network, and then getting some of the things later on. It clean up as well once it's done. So here it's showing the spikes on how it behaved day to day between those 4 days, July 9 to 13. So this is on a very detailed level or day by day what it happened, but I don't want to go through that now. Uh, so but we got a bigger picture of what happened, right? So that's what basically I wanted to tell in this particular video. Yeah. So basically what we get out of it is we need to make sure we are following some of the security guidelines when we are developing our application or in our agentic things. So uh, we make sure our systems are safer basically, because the agents itself capable of figuring out the weakness in our system and looping outside, getting through outside, like through not just one type, it can like loop in multiple processes and figures out a loophole. So we need to be very much risk aware in this particular phase. So yeah, that's the learning for any of the people who are working on this. Yeah, thanks everyone.